Mexico City for me was a blessing. It's a place where I go to recharge, see family, and remember where I came from.
Y ya pensé 2 veces antes de que tome la juegues con que ya yo no sé. No te hagas la víctima, tú sabes claramente lo que hiciste. Cometimos errores. Ana con toda la plebada, fui pa' la privada aquella. Quise enterarme para no pensarte, resulta que estar ahí. Me quebraste el corazón porque pensé que me querías y otra vez con tus mentiras.
So talking about the training, my mindset always is whether you're on the road, you're on vacation, wherever you're at, the training doesn't stop, especially for what I do.
Going to that UFC Performance Institute, seeing how big it was in Mexico City was eye-opening for me. It was 3 stories, state-of-the-art, actual life-sized UFC rings, and seeing the people train in there actually pushed all of us to get even more detailed in our training.
We're a big fan of the UFC, so being able to see, their Hall of Fame, how the up-and-comer guys are training there, the facilities that they have, it's every athlete's dream. So being able to surround ourselves in that aspect, especially since that sport has taken Will's game to the next level, and to be up close and personal with it, it was a really good experience.
Being around athletes like that really pushes you to a level that you can't do yourself.
I don't have those problems. I want those problems. I call them Pitbull for a reason, yeah.
Will uses UFC training to go hand in hand with his football training because a lot of it correlates with each other.
More than anything, these guys' mindset is what intrigued me the most. There's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of grit, and of course also you have your Mexican fighters that are there. I mean, we have fighters there from all over the world, but the Mexican fighters that were locals from there were the ones that really intrigued me because, it's my people, it's where we're from, and it's crazy to see what kind of mindset these guys have to be able to make it to that level. And it just made me feel right at home. Guys, just like we work hard, we also play hard. If you guys haven't been to Mexico City, please make sure you guys check out Xochimilco. It's an awesome experience. Just getting on the boat with all your boys, all your buddies.
We linked up with 2 other influencers out there and we didn't know what to expect, but it ended up being filled with food, drinks, mariachis.
I mean, to cap that off, man, I'm sure Josh will talk about it, but he did sadly drop his phone in that river. He was phoneless for about 4 days, so that was funny.
So I was on a lake. Nice
Bro, literally 30 seconds before we docked.
As soon as we're about to dock, I'm about to turn the music down, and then our boat driver fucking hit the fuck out of something, and my phone flew out into the river. That's all she wrote. So now I'm in Mexico City without a phone. I had to call my mom, let her know what's up. Just text my girlfriend, let her know what's up.
We're gonna get my boy back on the sidekick though. It's all good.
Good thing is, all the people that
That's so hard.
that was my bag.
So when we went out to Mexico, and usually the way these days work is they fill up your entire day and your entire schedule. So my dad's entire side of the family still lives in Mexico City. And they were reaching out because they knew I was going to be there to see if we can get together for dinner or lunch or something. So sadly, this was one of those deals where I couldn't. And turns out that Luis Hernandez and Javier from the Cardinals, you know, they kind of set up this little surprise. They coordinated with my family, told me we were going to go to a certain spot to shoot certain content. And it turns out we pull up to my family's house and they surprised me with all my entire family being there.
What we know as his boys that he hates surprises, but it was just obviously one of those things that we kind of had to keep on the down low. But to see him able to connect with his family down there in Mexico City, because again, he doesn't really get to see them all that often. It's just something obviously that's very sentimental. It makes you, it's that warm feeling that you get when you're around family.
I got to learn a little more about his backstory in that sense, and that surprise for everybody just made that moment so genuine and authentic.
That was actually the first time I got to go to their physical house since I lived there when I was about two years old. You know, it meant a lot to me. And, you know, when we walked around the neighborhood, my parents have a funny story, is they were dating since they were like in middle school. And my mom actually lived in the same neighborhood a few blocks away. So we all took that walk and they showed me the house my mom grew up in as well. And, you know, I thought that was awesome because, you know, my parents would always tell me the stories of like how my dad would walk over and, you know, pick my mom up and they'd go to school together. And it was cool seeing and walking the actual path that my dad took when he would go and pick my mom up for school. Thinking I wasn't gonna see them and now being there with all of them at the same time, and it was a big deal to me.
Man, honestly, I never thought I'd say it in my life, but I was done with tacos, man. Like we had eaten tacos, I think, every day for 2 weeks straight. If I had to do it again, I would. But yeah, I was fed up with tacos for a little bit.
Hey, we're at the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City, and we're here to learn a little bit about the history of our roots, especially mine, what I got running through my veins. We'll sit here. Let's get it.